Okay, so if you are looking for a fun new workout, if you have osteoporosis, which is the weakening of the bones, or osteoarthritis, which is some aching and painful joints, I have an awesome solution for you. And it actually can help you increase the intensity of your workouts, build more strength while building your stamina too. And the answer? A cordless jump rope. You heard me right, a cordless jump rope. So essentially you have the normal handles. It is also a nice soft handle, but the rope doesn't extend all the way. You have these balls at the end. They don't necessarily weigh anything, so they're super light, and you can also adjust the handles. The further out they are, the harder it's gonna be. The closer they are, or the shorter the rope is, it's gonna make it a little bit easier. Now, what I love about these cordless jump ropes is you can get a good upper body workout, increase your heart rate while getting a lower body workout too. So if you're someone who typically walks for exercise or just kind of does some regular just aerobic training, riding a bike, etc., this is one way to kick up the intensity a notch, help to burn more calories, and help to just get more out of your workout. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use these. Now the link is below to purchase these, and guess what? Right now, at the time of this video, they are under $10 to get a set of these. So I like to keep these in my home gym just as an option when I want to mix things up. Okay, we're going to be safe to the joints and help build some bones with these fun new toys. All right, so all I want you to do first is obviously make sure you're not going to hit anything, especially if you're working out in your house. I just want you to start spinning. And I like just to spin like forward, so if you were actually going to use a jump rope. I know for some of you watching, it may have been a while since you've last used a jump rope. Okay, now, another thing that can be really helpful with these is they challenge your coordination. Because we're gonna be focusing on spinning these ropes, and we're gonna be moving our legs at the same time. So you might feel your arms just get a little bit of blood flow going. And if you mess one up or lose track, just bring them back together and then spin forwards. Once you feel like you have this, all I want you to do is now you're going to start marching. All right, this is the start. Just get used to the ropes. Now, the faster you spin them, the harder it's going to be. So I want you to find a comfortable pace where you can keep them spinning, but you're not necessarily or struggling in the process. And now I want you just to step side to side. Now this is gonna feel a little bit weird at first. You're spinning the ropes and you're stepping side to side. Helping aching joints, moving side to side can be amazing because you're basically stressing a different part of the joint. And we don't move side to side super often. And now if you have the hang of it, I want you to see if you can speed it up. Now notice I feel the ropes kind of come in front of you a little bit. That's okay. You can keep them out to the side, or you can just kind of bring them in. Feels a little bit more natural, bringing them just a little bit forward. Just make sure they're not going to hit each other. All right, now we have our heart rates escalating just a little bit. I want you to speed it up. That higher intensity is where you're going to start to build more bone, especially if you have osteoporosis. And it's nice to those arthritic joints, especially if you have both. All right, now we're going forwards and backwards. So start slow. So you're gonna step forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. And you're just spinning forward. We will reverse the directions here in a second. So just get into a rhythm. Sometimes it might not help to watch me because it might throw you off. If at any point you need to just rest, straighten your arms out, and then you can just go back to spinning. Like I said, you can slow it down a little bit too if it's hard to maintain the speed you just were. And now you're going to alternate the leg that you're stepping with if you weren't already. Step forward and back, forward and back. Notice that your heart rate should be climbing a little bit. And if you feel like you can't get the rhythm of it or just feel like you're stepping on your own feet, that's okay. Coordination can be challenging at first. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I want you to actually set one down, just on the ground next to you. Just make sure you're not gonna step on it. So now you're only focusing on one rope handle. And now, actually what I want you to do is you're going to raise it up. So when you change the position of your arm, it's gonna work your shoulder in a little bit of a different way. So if you just raise your arm up a little bit, just make sure you're not gonna hit yourself in the head. It doesn't have to be all the way, because that's gonna be kind of challenging. So just raise it up a little bit. Now what I want you to do is you're gonna stand on the side that you're swinging, and you're gonna march up and out. Woo, getting a little close to the head there. March up and out. So this is core, this is working your hip. Also feeling like maybe you're at the rodeo. Speed it up if you have the rhythm. 3, 2, notice the arm rate fatigue a little bit more. Now, like I said, you can also adjust these strings, so if you do feel like it's too long, you can adjust them. We're going to the other side, so you're finding kind of not necessarily straight out, but I just want you to raise it up a little bit. Stand on that side that you're swinging on and lift that leg up. Start slow. Like I said, if you feel like you are way out of rhythm, that's okay. It does take a little while. Just don't whack yourself in the face. That's all I ask. Try to keep it spinning away from you like this versus swinging towards you. So start swinging and then bring that leg up. Bringing in a little bit of balance. Perfect for both arthritic joints and some bone strength. 2, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. That should fatigue your arms a little bit. Now I want you to grab the other one, so now you have 2 again. Okay, now we're gonna swing in reverse. So before, if you were swinging forward like you had a normal jump rope, I actually want you to reverse that direction. So now you're swinging backwards. So you're taking those ropes and you're swinging backwards. Just gonna work your legs a little, or work your arms just a little bit differently. Okay, now what I want you to do is go back to that side stepping. Now if your knees are feeling pretty good, one thing that you can do is you can just kind of add a little bit of a hop, side to side. Just a little hop. Jumping can be great for bone building, but if you have arthritic knees or arthritic hips, jumping may not feel great at first. But just see if you don't even need to leave the ground. I just want to see if you can lift up a little bit, or at least get your muscles thinking that you're going to jump, because they'll work a little bit differently. And you can always practice these movements outside of the video or pause it to see if you can get the rhythm. Now I just want you to march forward. And I want you to try to spin those ropes a little bit quicker. Please make sure that they're not close to your face. You can extend your arms out a little bit. You're gonna feel that in your shoulders. And I want you to march. March, march, march. This is a great alternative for jumping, especially with arthritic knees. Just doing some quicker marches, so getting that heart rate going. Three, 2, and 1. Go ahead and just hold them out at your sides. Okay, now we're just gonna go to a balance exercise. So I want you to put one foot in front of the other. As always, please make sure you can just stand like this before we start to add in any sort of movement. So make sure you can stand here. If you need to, move your foot out in front of you a little bit. Whew. My heart rate's up, I know that. Okay, now you're going to spin right in front of you, just one way. Okay. Once you're good here, what I want you to try to do, you might need to slow it down a little bit, so kind of go to a slower pace than maybe what you were using before. See if you can keep your balance. Fatigue plays a part. Slower is honestly a little bit harder when you're trying to balance because it's kind of throwing you in all different directions. 3, 2, now you're gonna switch. So pause the ropes. Now when you're going fast and when you need to stop, just kind of slow down, and I like to kind of straighten my arms just so it's not gonna come back and hit you. All right, now, other foot in front. Same thing, once you can stand here for 10 seconds, let's get those ropes spinning. Go at a comfortable pace to start, and then I wanna see if you can slow it down a little bit. Slow it down. Now this is just a balance warm-up, and so I want you to make it so that you can hang on to this position and stand here, because next, in about 15 seconds, I want you to stand on one leg. And if somebody's looking inside the window, like my window's open right now, and is seeing us do this, I'm sure that would be a funny sight to see, because what now we're gonna do is, okay, stop the balls. You're gonna stand on your right leg. You can use that left foot behind you as a kickstand, or if you can, stand on one leg. Now this is gonna be challenging, especially if you haven't tried to stand on one leg in a while. So use that leg behind you. Now what we're gonna do is I want you to spin in reverse. So now we're spinning the other direction. And I want you to try to straighten your arms out just a little bit. So you're just doing a slow spin, and you're standing on one leg. That hip of the leg that you're standing on should be firing. It should start to fatigue a little bit. You can kind of move this leg, you can move it forward, you can move it backwards. Try to straighten your arms, and we're going at that little bit of a slower pace. You can move that leg. 3, 2, and relax. And now I want you to switch to the other side. So now you're standing on the other leg. You can start with that kickstand, and then you can see if you can lift it up as you're spinning, and spin them slowly. Now you're focusing on spinning, and you're focusing on standing on one leg, which is a hard thing to do. So this can be a fun way to challenge balance, to help strengthen your bones with osteoporosis, and help those arthritic knees, that arthritic back, your arthritic hips, whatever joints are affected by osteoarthritis. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now what I want us to do, last thing, we're going to do one more spin. So we're gonna spin forward for this one. Okay, now what I want you to do, you're gonna step back and step forward. But now, I want you to see if you can, one, switch your feet that you're leading with. Gives you a little bit more to think about. And speed it up a little bit if you can. You don't necessarily have to speed up the arms, but I would like you to see if you could speed up the legs. A lot of times they speed up together. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I actually want you just to drop 1, so now you just have 1. Okay, this one you can absolutely hang on to something, but what I want you to do, make sure you have some space kind of in front and behind. You're just gonna swing in front and behind. So you're loosening up those arms, and you're loosening up that hip. If your balance is not great, or even if it is, this can be challenging. So like I said, again, hang on to something for support. You're just kind of moving your legs with the ball. All right, now other side. So you're moving back, coordinating those two movements, adding in a little bit of brain power, shaking those hips out, shaking those arms out. So I think these are super fun. They're definitely a way to increase your heart rate, get some aerobic capacity in. You can take them on your walk with you. You can do some movements before or after your typical workout. These are a good warm-up too. Especially it really gets your blood flowing. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, last balance thing, we're just gonna cool it down. Just one foot in front of the other. Shouldn't necessarily be too challenging. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is now you're just going to pass this back and forth. And the ball's gonna give a little bit of some direction, some different movements, especially if you've been with me and you've done either a dumbbell pass or a band pass side to side. The ball just makes it just a tad harder. And you can also do this on one leg if you're pretty proficient in balance. So just kind of let the ball swing where it wants to, because that's gonna increase that challenge. And now I want you to switch to the other side and we're gonna do the same thing. So if you can, make this a seamless transition. And just make sure it doesn't hit you. These balls are soft, so when it's not moving very fast, you likely aren't gonna feel it, but when you are spinning it faster, definitely wanna be careful and make sure that it doesn't hit you that way. And let's just stay here for about 10 seconds. Try to take some deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. So again, if you want to get these for a gift for someone, if you want to get a pair for yourself, the link is below to purchase these. Like I said, at the time of this video, they're less than $10. So I would definitely keep them in your arsenal, especially if you have osteoarthritis or osteoporosis. So I hope this was helpful. I have tons of other arthritis friendly workouts that you can use, as well as osteoporosis friendly workouts that you can use to build stronger bones and to help those achy joints. Movement is so powerful, and I want you to know that there are options. You don't just have to do one form of exercise. There are lots of fun, different ways that you can get your movement in so your joints and bones are good to go. Thanks for joining, and go ahead and check out the 4-day challenge that I have down below. If you liked this style of workout, I have lots more workouts where this came from. This 4-day challenge is I'm gonna send you 4 workouts that are going to help build stamina, build strength, and build power. All things that you need to adventure with osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. Thank you.